The divorce papers slipped out from under the coffee table while I was vacuuming, landing face up like a slap to the face. At first, I thought it was just another piece of Tom's endless paperwork, but the bold Decree of Dissolution of Marriage header stopped my heart cold. My name is Roslyn, and until 5 minutes ago I thought I was happily married. "Mum, Dallas keeps changing the TV channel," Ria's voice carried from upstairs, followed by the usual sibling squabble. "Just share, you two," I called back automatically, my fingers trembling as I unfolded the document. The signature at the bottom caught my eye immediately. Supposedly mine, but I'd never seen it before. The date stamp showed it was filed over a year ago. I sat there on our cream carpet, the one I'd picked out during our last home renovation, staring at the paper that declared my 15-year marriage dead without my knowledge. The vacuum hummed forgotten beside me, and somewhere upstairs the kids were still arguing about the remote. "Honey, you're home early." Tom's voice made me jump. He stood in the doorway, briefcase in hand, looking exactly like the successful lawyer-turned-CEO I'd supported through law school, through endless late nights, through 3 kids and 2 cross-country moves. I held up the papers. "What is this?" His face changed. Not surprise, not guilt, just resignation. "I was going to tell you." "When?" My voice cracked. "When were you going to tell me we've been divorced for a year?" "Keep your voice down," he hissed, glancing upstairs. "The kids—" "The kids what, Tom? The kids don't know their father secretly divorced their mother? That he forged her signature? That he—" "I did what needed to be done," he cut in, loosening his tie. "You wouldn't have understood. You never understand the bigger picture." I laughed, a hollow sound that scared even me. "Try me." "Fine." He set down his briefcase, his corporate mask sliding into place. "The divorce is final, has been for 14 months. I'm getting married next month. Kylie and I—" "Kylie?" The room spun. "Your attorney Kylie?" "Yes, and she'll be moving in here with us. Well, not us exactly. You'll need to find your own place." The vacuum was still running, its drone becoming a roar in my ears. "My own place? You have 30 days. He wouldn't meet my eyes. "It's all very standard. You've been served notice, legally speaking, months ago." "Standard?" I stood up, papers crunching in my fist. "When exactly did forging signatures become standard, Tom?" A knock at the door interrupted his response. Through the glass panels, I saw a woman's silhouette. Tall, elegant, everything I used to be before I dedicated my life to being Tom's wife and our children's mother. Tom moved to answer it, but I got there first. Yanking the door open, I came face to face with Kylie. Her red lipstick matched her designer blazer, and she held a real estate brochure like a weapon. "Oh, good, you're both here," she smiled, eyes flickering to the crumpled papers in my hand. "I brought some listings to discuss. This place will look so much better with fresh paint, don't you think?" I stared at her, this woman who'd sat across from me at charity galas, who'd complimented my Christmas party planning, who'd apparently been planning to take my life while sharing my appetizers. "Get out." My voice was steady, surprising even me. "Actually," Tom stepped forward, "Kylie has every right to be here. The house is where your children are sleeping," I cut him off. "Your children who still think their parents are married. So unless you want me to call them down right now and explain how Daddy's been lying to everyone, I suggest you both leave." Kylie's smile never wavered. "We'll come back when you're feeling more reasonable." She slipped the brochure into my hand. "But do look these over. 30 days isn't very long to find a new home." As they walked to Tom's car together, I watched 15 years of my life drive away. Upstairs, the TV volume changed again, and Ria yelled for Mum to intervene. Mum. At least they couldn't take that from me, not yet anyway. "Your appointment was 30 minutes ago." I checked my watch again, pacing the dingy waiting room of what had to be the most depressing law office in the city. The receptionist had left for lunch, leaving me alone with wilting plants and outdated magazines. Just as I reached for my purse to leave, the door flew open. A woman stumbled in, coughing violently into her elbow, holding a coffee-stained file folder with her free hand. Her grey blazer had ink spots near the pocket, and her hair looked like she'd styled it in a wind tunnel. "Mrs. Fleming?" She wheezed between coughs. "It's actually just Rosalind now, I guess." "Michaela Walsh." She extended her hand, then pulled it back for another coughing fit. "Sorry, bronchitis. Follow me." I trailed her into an office that looked like a paper tornado had hit it. Files covered every surface, and her computer screen showed at least 12 open tabs. "So," she dropped into her chair, "tell me about the divorce you didn't know you had." I explained everything while she typed furiously, pausing occasionally to sip water or cough. When I mentioned Kylie's name, her fingers froze over the keyboard. "Kylie Lowe." Her voice changed. "About 5'8", expensive highlights, probably wearing something red." "You know her?" Michaela's laugh turned into another cough. "Oh, we've crossed paths. Tell me about the house situation." "They're trying to force me out in 30 days. I've got 3 kids and nowhere—" "No!" She slammed her hand on the desk, making me jump. "They're not." "But the papers—" "Are garbage." She dug through a pile, pulling out a thick folder. "First, we file for emergency injunctive relief. Then we go after the fraudulent divorce. Then—" She smiled, and despite her dishevelled appearance, something sharp glinted in her eyes. "Then we make them wish they'd never heard of real estate." "Can you actually help me?" I asked, watching her rifle through more papers. "No offence, but you don't seem very put together." She coughed again. "Good, that's exactly what they'll think too." She turned her computer screen toward me. "Know what this is?" I squinted at a grainy photo. "Is that a prison yard?" "Taken 6 years ago." She zoomed in on a figure in an orange jumpsuit. "Recognise anyone?" My heart stopped. "That's Kylie." "Under a different name." Michaela's grin was fierce. "Tell me, Rosalind, are you ready to burn everything to the ground?" Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Cecilia's text made my stomach drop. "Dad's here packing his office. Says he's moving out. What's going on?" "I have to go." I stood up. "My kids." "Go." Michaela was already dialing someone. "I'll file the emergency orders today. Don't sign anything. Don't leave the house. And Rosalind?" She looked up from her phone. "Change the locks." I rushed home to find Tom's car in the driveway. Inside, Cecilia sat on the stairs, watching her father pack books into boxes while Dallas and Rhea hovered uncertainly in the doorway. "What's happening?" Rhea's voice was small. "Why is Dad taking his stuff?" Tom straightened up, all corporate smooth again. "Kids, your mother and I need to talk. Why don't you go upstairs?" "No," I cut in. "No more lies. You want to pack? Pack. But you tell them the truth." "Mom?" Cecilia stood up. "What truth?" Tom's phone rang. His face darkened as he checked it. "This isn't the time. I have to take this." He headed for the door, leaving his half-packed boxes. "Dad?" Dallas called after him. "Are you coming back?" The door closed without an answer. I gathered my children close, their questions tumbling out faster than I could process. Through the window, I watched Tom arguing on his phone in the driveway. He looked up, caught my eye, and I saw something I'd never seen before. Fear. My phone buzzed with a text from Michaela. "Emergency hearing scheduled for tomorrow. Hope they like surprises." "Mum," Cecilia's voice pulled me back. "What's really going on?" I took a deep breath. "Something bad, but I promise you I'm going to fix it." For the first time since finding those papers, I actually believed it. "They emptied your account 6 months ago," Michaela said, spreading bank statements across her desk. "Every joint account, investment portfolio, even your kids' college funds, all transferred to new accounts in their names." I stared at the papers, my hands shaking. How did I not notice? "They redirected your bank statements to a P.O. box." She held up an address change form. "Again, with your forged signature." A knock interrupted us, and a tall man with salt and pepper hair entered, carrying a thick manila envelope. "Got what you needed, Michaela?" "Rosalind, meet Sergio. He's a private investigator who specialises in uncomfortable truths." Sergio dropped the envelope on the desk. You're gonna want to sit down for this one. Inside were photos of Tom and Kylie at some tropical resort, dated 3 months after my supposed divorce. They were exchanging rings on a beach, champagne glasses glinting in the sunset. They got married in Barbados, Sergio explained. Very private ceremony, but here's where it gets interesting. He pulled out more documents. The name on Kylie's marriage certificate doesn't match any of her legal IDs. In fact, the social security number she used to get her law license doesn't exist. Michaela's cough turned into a laugh, which means, her law license is invalid, Sergio finished, and that marriage, legally questionable at best. My phone buzzed. Another text from Cecilia. Aunt Alexis is here. She's saying weird stuff about you, Mom. I have to go. I stood up. My sister's at the house. Wait! Michaela grabbed my arm. There's more. The judge assigned to our case, Judge Green. He has history with Kylie. She clerked for him 10 years ago, right before her, let's call it an extended vacation in orange jumpsuits. Can we use that? Oh, we're going to use everything. She shuffled through more papers. Go deal with your sister. I'll see you in court tomorrow. I arrived home to find Alexis sitting in my kitchen with Cecilia, both looking up as I entered. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut. Mum? Cecilia's voice cracked. Aunt Alexis says you knew about the divorce. She says you agreed to it months ago. What? I turned to Alexis. Why would you... Oh, drop the act, Ross. Alexis stood up, designer purse swinging. Tom told me everything. How you agreed to the divorce but kept stalling. How you threatened to make it messy if he didn't keep paying for your lifestyle. My lifestyle? I stepped closer. You mean raising his children, building his home, supporting his career? Please, she scoffed. You couldn't even buy groceries without his credit card. The slap happened before I realised I'd moved. Alexis stumbled back, hand to her cheek, eyes wide. Mom! Cecilia gasped. Get out, I told Alexis, my voice deadly calm. And if you ever try to poison my children against me again... You'll what? She grabbed her purse. Face it, Roz, you're nothing without Tom. Never have been. She turned to Cecilia. Call me when you want to hear the real story, honey. After she left, Cecilia wouldn't look at me. Is it true? Did you know? No. I sat down, forcing myself to stay steady. But I'm about to tell you something that is true. All of it. My phone buzzed again. Michaela. Found video from law firm party. Kylie forging documents in plain sight. You free to review footage? Mum? Cecilia's voice pulled me back. What's really going on? I looked at my daughter, seeing the confusion and hurt in her eyes. She wasn't a little girl anymore. She deserved the truth. Get your siblings, I said. You all need to hear this. As I waited for them to gather, another text came through, this time from Tom. Alexis told me what happened. Stop making this difficult. Take the settlement offer. I typed back 3 words. See you tomorrow. Then I deleted his number and turned to face my children, ready to tell them exactly how their father and his new wife had tried to erase their mother from existence, and how badly that plan was about to backfire. The bank teller looked from my ID to her computer screen and back again. I'm sorry, Mrs. Roslyn, but I'm showing your accounts have been closed. I know. I straightened my shoulders, channeling Michaela's courtroom confidence. I'm here to open a new one, in my name only. 20 minutes later, I walked out with my own checking account and a debit card that didn't have Tom's name on it. Small victory, but it felt huge. My phone rang. Alexis again. I'd ignored her last 6 calls, but this time I answered. What? Meet me at Riverside Cafe, she said. We need to talk. No, we really don't. I have proof, Roz, about what Tom's been doing with the money. You'll want to see this. 30 minutes later, I sat across from my sister, watching her stir her latte with perfectly manicured nails. The same nails that had typed messages to Tom, betraying me. Show me, I said. She pulled out her phone, scrolling through messages. Tom started asking me for information about you last year. Little things at first, your schedule, where you went shopping, which credit cards you used. And you just gave it to him? He paid me. She wouldn't meet my eyes. $5,000 a month to keep tabs on you. Said it was for your own good, that you were unstable. Unstable? My coffee cup rattled as I set it down. I raised his children while he built his empire. I handled everything so he could focus on his precious career. That's exactly what he used against you. She turned her phone around. Look. Text messages filled the screen. Tom describing me as financially dependent, emotionally unstable, unable to manage my own affairs. Messages to judges, to lawyers, to financial advisors, all painting a picture of a helpless, incompetent wife. Why are you showing me this now? Because he stopped paying. Her laugh was bitter. Said I'd served my purpose, said Kylie would handle everything from here. How convenient. I stood up. Your conscience kicks in right when the money runs out. Ros, wait. She grabbed my arm. There's more. The night before he filed the divorce, he had me take photos of you sleeping. Said he needed proof you were served papers in person. I didn't know he'd use them to forge your signature. My stomach turned. You helped him steal my life. I was jealous, okay? Her voice cracked. You had everything. The perfect family, the beautiful house. I wanted you to hurt like I hurt when Brad left me. Brad left because you cheated. I lost everything because you helped steal it. I'm sorry. Save it. I pulled out my phone and pressed play on the voice recorder app. I'm sure Michaela will love hearing your confession about the fraudulent service of divorce papers. Her face went pale. You recorded me. Learned from the best, sis. I gathered my things. Expect to hear from my lawyer. And Alexis, those designer bags Tom bought you with my kids' college fund, I hope they were worth it. Back in my car, I called Michaela. Got it? She asked between coughs. All recorded. She admitted everything. Perfect. The kids okay? I glanced at my watch. Dallas has soccer practice. Cecilia's helping Rhea with homework. They're managing. Good, because tomorrow's going to be rough. I just got the full surveillance video from the firm party. Wait till you see what your husband's new wife was doing by the copy machine. Show me. Better yet, Michaela's voice turned gleeful between coughs. I'll show everyone. Court starts at 9. Wear something nice. We're about to give them one hell of a show. At home, I found Cecilia helping Rhea with math while Dallas kicked his soccer ball against the garage door. Mom! Rhea looked up. Is Dad coming to my recital next week? I don't know, sweetie. He promised, she said quietly. Yeah, I kissed her head. He did a lot of that. My phone buzzed with a text from Michaela. Video edited and ready. Judge Green just denied their motion to exclude it. Tomorrow we go for the jugular. I looked at my children, doing homework, playing soccer, trying to be normal while their world crumbled. Tomorrow couldn't come fast enough. Time to show them what happens when you try to erase a mother. The courtroom fell silent as Tom and Kylie swept in, looking like they'd stepped out of a legal drama. She wore another red blazer, he had his power suit on, and both carried leather briefcases that probably cost more than my car. Michaela sat beside me, coughing into a tissue, her files scattered across our table. She looked worse than usual, hair askew, coffee stains on her blouse. Tom and Kylie exchanged smirks. Judge Green entered, and everyone rose. He looked exactly like Michaela had described, stern, unreadable, with reading glasses perched on his nose. Your Honour, Kylie stood first, smooth as silk. We move to dismiss this case. The divorce was properly executed, and Mrs. Rosalind's claims of fraud are unfounded. Michaela coughed loudly, fumbling with her papers. Several fell to the floor. Ms. Walsh. Judge Green raised an eyebrow. Your response? Sorry, Your Honour. She wheezed, gathering her dropped files. If I could just... More coughing. One moment. Kylie's smirk grew. Perhaps we should recess until counsel is... composed? Actually, Michaela straightened suddenly, her voice clear and strong. I'd like to play something for the court. She pressed a button, and the large screen behind her flickered to life. The video showed the law firm's Christmas party. I recognized the decorations, had helped plan it myself last year. The camera focused on Kylie by the copy machine, pulling documents from her designer bag. "Watch carefully," Michaela said, zooming in. Ms. Lowe, or should I say Ms. Harrison, as she was known during her time in federal prison, is about to demonstrate her specialty, document forgery. The smirk vanished from Kylie's face. "Objection!" "Overruled," Judge Green leaned forward. "Continue." The video showed Kylie clearly practicing signatures, my signature, before applying them to legal documents. Tom appeared in the frame, checking the hallway before handing her more papers. "Your Honour," Michaela pulled out a file. "I have statements from 3 witnesses confirming that these were divorce documents, fraudulently executed without my client's knowledge or consent." "This is ridiculous," Tom stood up. "That video could be doctored—" "Like my signature?" I couldn't help asking. "Sit down," Judge Green ordered. "Ms. Walsh, continue." Michaela lifted another file. "We also have evidence that Ms. Lowe used a false social security number to obtain her law license, making any legal documents she's filed—" "Enough!" Kylie slammed her hand down. "This is character assassination." "No," Michaela smiled. "This is just the warm-up. Sergio?" The private investigator entered, carrying a thick folder. "Your Honour, I have documentation of Ms. Lowe's previous convictions for fraud, her use of multiple aliases, and evidence of ongoing financial crimes involving the defendant's joint accounts." Judge Green studied the documents, his expression unchanged. "Ms. Lowe, care to explain why you're practicing law under a false identity?" The colour drained from Kylie's face. Tom loosened his tie, looking desperately around the courtroom. "Furthermore," Michaela continued, pulling out Alexis's recorded confession, "we have proof that the defendant conspired to fake service of divorce papers, using a paid accomplice to photograph my client while sleeping." "Your Honour," Tom interrupted, "I request a recess to consult with new counsel." Denied. Judge Green removed his glasses. "I've seen enough. This court finds substantial evidence of fraud and criminal misconduct. The divorce decree is hereby vacated. Ms. Lowe, you are to surrender your law licence pending investigation. And Mr. Fleming—" Tom froze. "Your assets are frozen until we sort out this financial mess. Court officers, please escort Ms. Lowe to meet with the district attorney's office." As Kylie was led out, she hissed at me. "This isn't over?" "Actually," Michaela coughed delicately, "it really is." Tom tried to approach me, but Judge Green's voice stopped him. "Mr. Fleming, I suggest you leave, now." Outside the courtroom, Michaela handed me a tissue. I hadn't realised I was crying. "One more thing," she said, grinning. "Judge Green just granted our petition for exclusive use of the house. Tom has 24 hours to remove his things." "How did you—" "I told you," she coughed into her sleeve. "We weren't just going to win, we were going to annihilate them." For the first time in weeks, I felt myself smile. "What's next?" "Next," she gathered her files. "Next, we go after everything." "My sister died because of her," Michaela said, placing a faded photograph on her desk. It showed a younger, smiling woman who shared Michaela's eyes. Kylie was her attorney, convinced her to take a plea deal that sent her to prison for someone else's crime. I picked up the photo. "What happened?" "She had a heart condition. The prison medical staff ignored her symptoms until—" Michaela's usual cough turned into something more raw. "I spent 5 years tracking Kylie's past. Different names, different states, same pattern of destroying lives." "Why didn't you expose her sooner?" "Needed the right case, the right judge." She smiled grimly. "The right victim." My phone buzzed, a news alert. My stomach dropped as I read the headline, "CEO's wife in sex scandal, secret messages reveal double life." "Tom's fighting back," Michaela said, reading over my shoulder. "Those messages with your old college friend Mark, they doctored them." I remembered those messages, innocent catching up with an old friend who'd moved abroad. Now they were twisted into something sordid, complete with fake screenshots of late-night conversations that never happened. "The kids will see this," I whispered. "No." Michaela grabbed her phone. "Sergio, launch the counterattack, now!" Within hours, local news stations were running a different story. Disgraced attorney's criminal past exposed. Kylie's mugshots from 3 different states filled the screens, along with details of her fraud convictions. My phone rang. Tom. "Call off your attack dog," he growled, "like you called off yours." Those messages were fake, and you know it. How's Kylie enjoying her chat with the DA? "This isn't a game, Roslyn." "No," I agreed, "it's not. Games don't usually end in prison sentences." The courthouse doors burst open as I arrived for the afternoon session. Reporters swarmed, cameras flashing. "Mrs. Fleming, any comment on the alleged affair?" "What about your husband's new wife's criminal record?" "Is it true you're seeking full custody?" Michaela appeared, pushing through the crowd. "My client has no comment, but stick around. Today's testimony might interest you." Inside, Tom sat alone at his table. No Kylie, no smug smile, just a man watching his carefully constructed world crumble. "All rise," Judge Green entered, followed by a woman I didn't recognise. "Your Honour," Michaela stood. "I'd like to call Linda Martinez, former cellmate of Catherine Harrison, also known as Kylie Lowe." Tom's face went white. Linda described how Kylie had bragged about her schemes, about marrying rich men and destroying their lives. She said this one would be her biggest score yet, had it all planned, the fake divorce, the asset transfers, even the smear campaign if the wife fought back. "Objection!" Tom shouted, standing so fast his chair toppled. "This is hearsay." "Overruled," Judge Green said. "Continue." "She kept a diary," Linda added. "Wrote down everything. I can tell you where." Tom clutched his chest suddenly, staggering. "I can't. I need—" The courtroom erupted as he collapsed. Medical personnel rushed in. Through the chaos, I caught Michaela smiling. "Did you know this would happen?" I whispered. "Let's just say stress can do terrible things to a person." She coughed, especially when they realised their new wife was planning to do to them exactly what they helped her do to you. As they wheeled Tom out on a stretcher, Judge Green called for order. "Given these developments, we'll recess until tomorrow. Mrs. Fleming, my chambers, please." Inside his office, he removed his glasses. "Off the record, Roslyn. Did you know about any of this before?" "No, Your Honour. I thought I had a marriage." "You had a target on your back." He sighed. "Kylie clerked for me years ago. I suspected something was wrong but couldn't prove it. Thank you for finally bringing her down." My phone buzzed. Cecilia. "Mum, it's all over social media. Is Dad okay? Are those stories about you true?" "Go," Judge Green said. "Your children need you. We'll finish this tomorrow." Outside, reporters still waited, but Michaela steered me through a back exit. "Ready for the final act?" she asked. "What's left?" "Everything." She smiled through another cough. "Tomorrow we take it all." The final hearing felt more like a public execution. Tom sat alone at his table, still pale from his hospital stay, while Kylie was led in wearing handcuffs and prison orange, a preview of her future wardrobe. "Your Honour," Michaela began, her voice strong despite her persistent cough. "We've proven the divorce was fraudulent, the marriage to Ms. Lowe was invalid, and the financial transactions were criminal. Today, we're here to make it right." Judge Green nodded. "Proceed." Sergio wheeled in a cart loaded with evidence boxes. "Financial records from 6 states, he announced. "Every account, every transfer, every fraud." "Objection!" Tom's new attorney jumped up. "This is beyond the scope." "Overruled." Judge Green leaned forward. "Ms. Walsh, continue." Michaela projected a complex financial diagram onto the screen. "Here's where it gets interesting. Mr. Fleming didn't just help Ms. Lowe steal from my client. They were stealing from his company, his clients, even his children's trust funds." Tom's face went from pale to grey. "That's not—" "Bank records don't lie," Michaela coughed, "even when you do. Sergio?" The investigator distributed documents to the court. "We found offshore accounts, shell companies, and evidence of tax evasion dating back 3 years. Your Honour," Tom's attorney tried again, My client needs medical attention. Your client needs a criminal defense lawyer, Michaela cut in. But first, she turned to me. Roslyn, would you like to address the court? I stood, facing the judge but speaking to Tom. 15 years! I gave you 15 years of my life. I raised your children, built your home, supported your dreams, and you tried to erase me. Kylie snorted. Tom wouldn't meet my eyes. But you forgot something, I continued. I'm not just your wife, I'm their mother, and you can't erase that. Judge Green cleared his throat. Given the evidence presented, this court finds the following. The divorce is vacated due to fraud. Ms. Lowe's marriage to Mr. Fleming is null and void. All assets are to be frozen pending criminal investigation. He turned to me. Mrs. Fleming, you are granted exclusive use of the family home and temporary full custody of the minor children. Mr. Fleming, you will maintain financial support but may not access any accounts until the criminal matter is resolved. Your Honour, Kylie spoke for the first time, I can explain everything. Save it for your criminal trial. He banged his gavel. Court officers, please take Ms. Lowe into custody. As they led Kylie away, she locked eyes with me. I expected hatred or threats. Instead, she looked defeated. One more thing, Michaela announced. We've filed a civil suit against Mr. Fleming's firm for enabling fraud. The DA's office is very interested in their role in all this. Tom finally broke. Please, he begged, the children. Should have thought about them before you tried to steal their mother's life, I said quietly. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed again, but this time I was ready. Yes, my husband tried to erase me, I told the cameras, but he forgot that mothers don't disappear. We fight back. Michaela guided me through the crowd to her car. Not bad for a housewife, huh? Thank you, I said, for everything. Don't thank me yet. She pulled out a business card. How do you feel about a career change? I read the card. Legal assistant position, Walsh Family Law. Me? But I'm not. You're exactly what I need. Someone who understands what these women are going through. Someone who survived it. My phone buzzed. Cecilia. Mum, is it over? For real this time? Yes, I texted back. Come home, all of you. Michaela coughed into her sleeve. Go, be with your kids. We'll talk about the job tomorrow. I drove home, my home legally and finally, thinking about how much had changed. The house keys felt different in my hand, like they belonged there in a new way. Inside, my children waited. Cecilia had tears in her eyes, Dallas looked confused, and Rhea just ran to hug me. Is Dad going to jail? Dallas asked. I don't know, I answered honestly, but we're going to be okay. How do you know? Cecilia whispered. I held them close, feeling stronger than I had in 15 years. Because we have each other, and no one can take that away. Not even their father. You've got another one, Michaela called from her office, holding up a manila folder. Single mum, 3 kids, husband tried to convince her she was crazy before emptying their accounts. I took the file, already recognizing the pattern. Let me guess. He's a lawyer, accountant, but same playbook. She coughed, reaching for her water. Want to sit in on the consultation? The last 6 cases had been similar. Women discovering their lives weren't what they thought, seeking help from the only law firm known for handling these cases. Our cases. Mum, Rhea poked her head into the office. Can I do homework in the conference room? Sure, sweetie. Just clear out before the 4 o'clock meeting. She was adjusting well to spending afternoons at the firm. Dallas had soccer practice, and Cecilia was busy with debate team, but Rhea liked watching us work. My phone buzzed, a text from Tom. The kids won't return my calls, I typed back. Maybe because you missed Cecilia's debate finals to vacation with your prison pen pal. He'd started writing to Kylie in prison, proving some people never learn. Last I heard, they were planning to reunite when she finished her sentence, in 7 to 10 years. Roslyn, our receptionist, appeared. There's someone here to see you, says she's your sister. Alexis stood in the lobby, looking smaller than I remembered. No designer bag this time. "Can we talk?" she asked. I led her to my office, my own office, with diplomas on the wall showing my newly completed paralegal certification. "You look good," she said, sitting down. "Really good. What do you want, Alexis?" "To apologise, for real this time." She pulled out an envelope. "And to give you this." Inside was a cheque for $60,000. "What's this?" "Everything Tom paid me, plus interest." She wiped her eyes. "I've been in therapy, trying to understand why I helped hurt my own sister. And I was wrong, so wrong. I see you now, how strong you are, what you've built. I'm proud of you, Roz." Before I could respond, Michaela burst in, coughing. "Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this." She turned on the office TV. A news anchor was reporting, "In a shocking development, prominent CEO Thomas Fleming has been indicted on multiple counts of fraud and financial misconduct. Sources say the investigation began after his attempted fraudulent divorce." Alexis squeezed my hand. "Karma's real, huh?" "Speaking of karma," Michaela grinned, "guess who just made partner at Tom's old firm? That junior associate he passed over for Kylie. She's already offered to cooperate with the prosecution." My phone lit up with texts from the kids. They'd seen the news too. Cecilia: "Dad's face is everywhere. Everyone at school is talking." Dallas: "Does this mean he's going to jail like Kylie?" Ria: "Can we have pizza for dinner?" I smiled at the last one. Life goes on, even when worlds collapse. "Mum!" Ria appeared again. "There's a lady in the lobby crying. She says her husband told everyone she was dead." "That's my 4 o'clock," Michaela said. "Roslyn, want to show her how we handle fake deaths around here?" I stood up, straightening my blazer. "Alexis, we'll talk more later. Right now, someone needs help." "Go," she smiled. "Be the hero you needed." In the lobby, a woman clutched tissues. Looking as lost as I had that day, I found divorce papers under my coffee table. "Hi," I sat beside her. "I'm Roslyn. Want to tell me your story?" "You won't believe it," she whispered. "Try me." I opened my notebook. I've learned that nothing's unbelievable when it comes to people trying to erase someone's life. But here's the thing, they never succeed. Not when we fight back. Her eyes met mine. Hope replacing fear. "Really?" "Really." I gestured to Michaela's office. "Come on, let's get started." Behind us, the TV still showed Tom's indictment photos, but I barely noticed any more. I was too busy helping another woman find her strength, her voice, her fight, because that's what happens when someone tries to erase you. You don't just survive, you thrive, and then you help others do the same.